You know, in a world that absolutely runs on precision, from the lab that develops life-saving medicine to the plant that makes your food, there's this one company whose instruments are practically everywhere, but you've probably never even heard of them. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that very company, Mettler Toledo, ticker MTD. I mean, think about it. For so many things we rely on, precision isn't just nice to have, it's non-negotiable. But who actually makes the tools that guarantee that level of accuracy? Well, the answer leads us to this kind of hidden giant of the industrial world. So, all right, let's do the formal introduction. Let's meet Mettler Toledo, what I'm calling the precision powerhouse. Okay, so at its core, Mettler Toledo makes these incredibly specialized instruments that you find in laboratories, on factory floors, and yeah, even in grocery stores. Basically, if something needs to be measured with just mind-blowing accuracy, chances are they're the gold standard. And when I say their product range is vast, I mean it. We're talking everything from laboratory balances that are so sensitive they can weigh a speck of dust, all the way up to massive industrial scales for weighing trucks. They even make the X-ray systems that scan your food for contaminants. They are truly baked into the quality control systems of our modern lives. And this is key. Look at who their customers are. This diversity is really the bedrock of their stability. They serve these essential and frankly recession-resistant industries. Think about it. Pharma, food production, scientific research, these sectors always need precision measurement, no matter what the stock market is doing. That is a seriously powerful business model. Okay, so a strong business model is great, but does that actually translate into a strong case for investing? Well, for that, we've got to look at the numbers. So let's just start at the top. We're looking at nearly $3.9 billion in recent annual revenue. Let's be clear, this is not some small niche player. This is a global heavyweight with some serious financial muscle. But, you know, it's not just about how big they are. Mettler Toledo has this really strong reputation for just executing well. They have a solid track record of consistently outperforming what the market analysts predict for their earnings. So, take a look at a recent quarter, for example. Their actual earnings per share came in comfortably ahead of what everyone was forecasting. And this isn't just a one-off thing, it's a pattern. And that points to really strong management and efficiency, which is exactly what you want to see as an investor. And get this, here is a huge vote of confidence from inside the company itself. Management has authorized a massive $2.75 billion share repurchase program. That's a super direct way to return value to shareholders, and it's a powerful signal that they believe their own stock is a great investment. And it's not just them. It seems Wall Street tends to agree. The general consensus among analysts is pretty positive, with a lot of them seeing the stock's price climbing even higher. So that adds another layer of validation to the whole investment case. But, you know, a strong business doesn't always mean it's a smooth ride for the stock. So now we've got to look at the other side of the coin, the risks and the market headwinds that are facing Mettler Toledo. Here's the thing. Despite its strong fundamentals, the stock itself can be surprisingly volatile. During certain market downturns, MTD has actually done worse than the broader market, experiencing some pretty significant drops. This is a really key point. Its performance can be super sensitive to how the market is feeling overall. So, what's driving this shakiness? Well, the headwinds are real. They're facing pressure on their profit margins because of rising costs in the supply chain. And as a global company, they're exposed to all the uncertainty from tariffs and trade disputes. And, like we just saw, the stock itself is highly sensitive to those big market swings. These are serious factors you just can't ignore. And this isn't just some theoretical risk. The analysis points out that these pressures have, at times, really squeezed their profit margins. This compression is a metric that definitely makes some investors cautious, because it can hit the bottom line directly. All right, so we've laid out a pretty clear bull case and a pretty clear bear case. What's the bottom line for a potential investor when you put all of this on the scales, so to speak? It really boils down to this. On the pro side, you have a rock-solid business with fantastic fundamentals, customers who aren't going anywhere, and a management team that's focused on shareholder returns. But on the con side, you have the wild, unpredictable nature of the stock market, real pressure on their profitability, and these big-picture economic risks that are totally out of their control. And that really brings us to the central conflict here. At its heart, Mettler Toledo is an incredibly high-quality, fundamentally sound company. But it's operating in a world that's full of these market cycle risks that can toss the stock around, sometimes no matter how well the actual company is doing. Which leaves us with the final and most crucial question for anyone thinking about this stock. Is Mettler Toledo a stable giant whose fundamental quality is just destined to win out in the long run? Or is it, at the end of the day, a volatile performer whose fate is just too closely tied to the unpredictable swings of the market? That's the puzzle you have to solve.